Hey everybody, welcome. This is episode 108 of the Noontime. I'm your host, my name is David Bradley. This is the 108th episode of the Noontime Nuggets about sales, business, and or life. Today we're going to be talking about some scary ass and why you should be like a Boy Scout right now. So who am I? What business is it of mine to be sitting here at 12 o'clock noon Pacific Standard Time bringing you a noontime nugget about sales, business, or life? Hey, look, the Nooner exists because I wanted to bring a piece of motivation, something that you can take with you into the rest of your day. It's 12 o'clock noon on the West Coast, 3:30 on the East. You've got, you may be out of gas, right? Motivation is fuel. It's like food. You got to keep it coming into your system, otherwise, and if you don't use it, you lose it, right? So you've had lunch for your body. I'm going to give you some lunch for your brain. That's why we're here. My name again, David Bradley. Hey, good to see you guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the favors and the restreams. Thanks for popping in today. My name is David Bradley. I'm a sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. I've been working with Grant for the last 5 years. I've been studying his material since 2003. Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. So I got an opportunity in 2011 to give that to other people. That's how I've been making my living for the last 5 years. What we do in our company, we increase production 15 to 30% in 90 days or less simply by helping you find and then handle missed opportunity. So if you take a hard target look at where your business is at right now, add 15 to 30%. You like that number? Does it look good? Does it look enticing? Is it worth having a conversation? Reach out to me. 310-777-0352 or email me, david@grantcardone.com, and I'm happy to help. Two other things you may want to know about me is I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I smoked cigarettes for just over 15 years. Couldn't quit. Tried many ways, methods, means, exhausted them all, whatever was available back then. Couldn't quite figure it out. But I found a way to stop. Okay? Big difference between quitting and stopping. And so that's the main theme of my book. It's called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. It's up on Amazon, or you can go to www.stopdon'tquit.com for more information on that. But this will help you kick any habit. Third thing is I'm the founder of a hashtag called Rich Man's Gym. Now, Rich Man's Gym is about home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. I don't think you got to go to the gym to get in the best shape of your life. I mean, you just don't. You can do that from the comfort of your own home. You can do that at the local park. You can do it in the backyard. You can do it in the garage. Anywhere you can take a pair of kettlebells with you. I'm just going to tweet out that I'm on here right now. Any place you can grab some kettlebells. Anytime you can get some dumbbells. Hang a pair of Olympic rings. Anytime you can do that, man, that is your rich man's gym. There we go. Right? So today we're going to be talking about scary ass. You guys mind if I use the S word? If I say scary ass shit, anybody going to get offended if I use the word shit? I just did. So if anybody's offended, my apologies. Tweet. But what I'm going to drop on you is some scary ass shit. I can't sugarcoat it. So I don't even know if I should bleep myself out or use the stuff word or shoot or whatever. But what we're going to talk about today is some scary ass stuff. Okay? Grant Cardone, my boss, posted an article, two of them actually, one on Medium and then one over on LinkedIn, and the message to us all is to make our finances, a priority. So the question that I want to throw out there, just to start this thing off, how much of a priority is it for you? So the question, I'm going to challenge you to write a couple things down right now. You got some notes? Because ultimately the question, the first thing is, do you want to be the cause of your economy? Or do you want to be the effect of somebody else's? Most people, I would assume, would want to be the cause of their economy. You don't want to be reliant on somebody else for a paycheck. You want to be able to create your own wealth, create your own income. You want to be able to build that, right? not dependent. My father, for example, he was with us yesterday, marriage family therapist. He's been self-employed forever. Okay. He generates his own business. And never once was there a Christmas tree without presents under it on December 25th. He busted his ass. He missed a few of my soccer games. He missed a few. Well, he didn't miss anything by not being at my soccer game because I sucked at soccer. But he missed a few baseball games. He missed a few soccer games. He wasn't able to pick me up from school. He wasn't able to take me to practice. But we never had a Christmas tree that was empty. We never had a stocking unstuffed by the chimney with care. We never starved. We never had to wonder if we're going to make food. We got by. Did we thrive? Not necessarily. But he was in charge of generating revenue for our family, and he brought it in, and he busted his ass to do it. He has been the cause of his economy the whole time. He has refused to be the effect of somebody else's. Okay, so that's something that I learned from my dad. Very admirable trait. You are the cause of your own economy, whether you know it or not. So look, scary ass stuff, and why you should be like a Boy Scout right now. What is a Boy Scout? What's the Scout's motto, right? Be prepared. All 3 days of Boy Scouts, I think I was in the Scouts for like 3 days. Couldn't do it. But I got this be prepared thing. That made a lot of sense. But Nikki, what do we got here? If you're thinking about investing in your business but don't have the money right now, how do you justify leaving a couple bills unpaid in order to make that business investment that will pay you later? Man, you ask the good questions. You get like the deep ones, man. So the question, the way I would probably answer that, and what I would suggest to you is create more income. One of the things I've heard Grant say that really touched on, for me, had an impact on how I thought, was he goes, man, you don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem. You have a revenue problem. So you're sitting here thinking, okay, how do I invest in my business right now when I got bills to pay? If you follow, there's a really cool video of Grant working a deal with a guy who's trying to make that same decision, like, hey, should I invest in this or not? Grant comes back to, hey, figure it out. Okay? Where there's a will, there's a way, they say. And if you know that that investment is going to generate more revenue for you, help you build your business, skill up, find the money. Find the money. That's the question. Like if this was, the doctor said, hey, you have cancer and I have the cure, but it's going to cost X amount of money. Would you find the money? Yeah, you'd find the money. Okay? So get your bills paid. I'm not saying be irresponsible. Myself, I borrowed some money at the beginning of my career to pay for sales training, money that I couldn't afford. Wasn't a lot, but I took out a secured credit card that gave me 150% back of what I had secured it with, so I could buy some Grant Cardone CDs. I made my money back and then some, and I took that initial profit and I put it into more CDs. And ultimately I wound up with Grant's entire library of what was available at the time. So I said, my encouragement to you is figure it out. Find a way. The money's there, okay? And when I say the difference between being cause or being effect, just cause the money. Create the money. It will show up. It will present itself to you. You just got to go out there and get it, okay? That means you got to work more, close more deals, whatever you need to do, get it, okay? That's how I live my life every day. Who's got my money, right? That's the t-shirt, okay? So the reason we're talking about making finances a priority, the reason that Grant's got an article up on LinkedIn that says financial warnings everywhere, I'm just going to read off some of these statistics. And if you're not wearing your seatbelt, put it on. Because when I first read some of these things, it scared the crap out of me, right? The original title of this article that Grant wrote was going to be Wake Up and Get Your Shit Together. Okay, so that's how strong this is, all right? So what does Grant say on Medium? He says, if you don't have your finances as a priority, you're never going to have the finances you deserve. That's how he opens the article. Just think about that for a second. If you don't make your finances a priority, you're never going to have the finances that you deserve. Meaning what? That's a legitimate sense of entitlement. Okay? You got to earn it, though. You deserve it. Okay? Money demands attention. Where is your attention at? Listen to this. 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. 62% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. Holy crap! 62% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their savings account. If the bottom fell out tomorrow, there was no unemployment insurance, there was no government support, there was no assistance. You got $1,000. That's no money. I've seen bar tabs higher than that. 65% of those that are 65 or older have less than $25,000 in retirement. Now, what does that mean to you if you're not over 65? It means there's a really good chance you're going to have to take care of mom and pop. Are you prepared for that? 21% of all Americans have no savings account at all. The median income of the middle class of households, adjusted for inflation, has been in a decline for the last 27 years. So what you should make in middle class America has been dropping over the last 27 years. Wealth, the 1%, has gotten higher and higher. Middle class gotten lower and lower. What does that mean? There isn't one. 51% of all American workers make less than $30,000 a year. For each of the past 6 years, more businesses have closed than opened. 48% of all 25-year-old Americans still live at home with their parents. Man, when I was 18, I'm like, later. But I wound up coming back. Scary. 1 in 5 live in poverty, below the poverty line, at or below. Corporate debt in the United States has approximately doubled. What is this telling you? Like when you hear these stats, there's 41 of them, okay? Health insurance premiums have increased a total of $4,865 since 2008. That's huge. My health insurance premium's nuts, and I'm healthy. Like, why am I paying that much money for a doctor visit I'm going to make once a year? Right? That's insane. Average U.S. household has at least one credit card and approximately $15,950 in credit card debt. Okay, $1,000 in the savings account, but you're upside down $16,000. Okay, you're in debt $15,000. 41% of all working age Americans are either currently have medical bill problems or paying off a medical debt. Wow. 41% of all Americans are still trying to pay down a hospital bill that their insurance premium that's gone up $4,000 isn't covering. I'm paying an extra $4,500 for insurance, and then when I need it, I can't get it, so I wind up in medical bill debt, and then my credit gets trapped. Let me turn that down. Sorry about that, you guys. Student loan debt has risen to $1.2 trillion. More than all credit card debt. It costs more to get an education than it does to get into credit card debt. 40 million Americans are paying off student loan debt. So imagine you got a student loan and a health problem and your insurance doesn't cover it. You're done. You're toast. Okay? U.S. national debt is a record $19 trillion. And that's what they tell us, Grant says. Which is probably a lie. Which means what? It's higher. Okay? I don't know how many stats I just rattled off to you. Probably about 20 or 30. Okay? But what does that tell you? This book right here, Sell or Be Sold, originally was titled what? Sell to survive. This does not have to be you. That's the point. Today's Nooner, Noontime Nuggets about sales, business, and life. I want to give you something to motivate you. Hopefully this is motivating to you. This shouldn't be a crap out session. This should be a call to action. This should be like, man, I got to get to work. This is not going to be me, David, okay, the guy hosting the Nooner. That will not be me. If it comes down to it and my father needs to live with us, believe you me, I'm going to have a place for him and he's going to live in comfort. He did not bust his ass like I talked about earlier to provide for us so that I couldn't provide for him. Unacceptable. Okay, so what is that? How does that translate into your world, though? Okay, what are you doing to be the cause of your economy? Like I said, this does not have to be you. You are not resigned to living this life. You don't want to be in poverty? Get the hell out. Okay, what was that stat about Americans? 51 or 1 in 5? You don't have to be the one. You don't. You don't have to make less than 30 grand a year. All you got to do is skill up, right? And that's because you have learned how to sell. That's the point of this thing. This book costs you $25. Could be worth millions of dollars to you if you use it right. The next book, The Closer's Survival Guide. Understand how to close a transaction. That could be worth millions of dollars to you. It's an art and a science, and you have to continually work at it and grow and develop. You got to pursue mastery in this area. You learn how to sell, and you can do anything you want. You can name your price, and you become an invaluable member of a company. They need salespeople. They need good ones. They'll pay you. You can be the cause of what happens, okay? And Grant's been smart, right? He's done sales. He's generated income. He's taken it, and he's invested it in things that pay him. But Nikki, what do you have to say here? It says, how do you make sense of making an investment knowing that next month you won't be able to afford it if that investment doesn't pay off? Sorry, it's off topic right now. My internet is terrible and I can't follow live. Cool. Do that, but Nikki, do me a favor, man. Email me, david@grantcardone.com. I want to put a couple things in front of you. They're free, won't cost anything. That's going to help you answer that question. And I have a couple questions about that. So when you say, how do you make sense of making an investment knowing that next month you won't be able to afford it, meaning this is a monthly investment that you're making? Is that what you're saying? If that investment doesn't pay off. So I'm going to need some more specifics, and probably the specifics are not going to fit on a Meerkat stream for us to have that conversation. So send me an email. Maybe I can do a whole separate Nooner just on that topic if I can understand what you're trying to wrap your head around, and be happy to work with you on that in my spare time. Somebody just popped in, a little teddy bear. Who's that? Plucky Bear. Hey, Plucky Bear from the south coast of England. Nice to see you. You got a cute little avatar there. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you coming in late. So look, here's the deal. The original title of this article was supposed to be Wake Up and Get Your Shit Together. What did you hear from this that like raised an eyebrow for you, that got your head going, right? I mean, do you want to be the cause or the effect? Do you want to be a victim or a perpetrator? Meaning what? You cause things to happen in your life. Everything that has ever happened to you has been a direct result of a decision or an action you've taken or made. With the economy in the state that it's in, which means it's just barely walking the line, you got to make sure you've taken care of you and your family. That's your number one priority right now. So do what you need to do to skill up, knowledge up, so that you can take care of your family and not become one of these statistics. You're more than a statistic. This has been episode 108 of The Nooner. I'm your host, David Bradley. Should be seeing you tomorrow. Thank you guys for tuning in. But Nikki, I'm going to look for that email from you, man. David@grantcardone.com. Fire it off, and I look forward to talking with you. Happy hump day, you guys. See you tomorrow.